talking that he had come. Walk for the dogs, prepare for the each breed, distinguish it for the two, sing for the two speeder. Maybe the hair for him to start, only the fly for earners to chase. Or it could be the hair for those who pursue, who knows for instinct what to do for the hope is near. No turn for making it the arrow that river takes. That could be the deep river over the crust. Maybe the thin ones for the night's frost. Maybe the thimble for the hair that have trusted. Two to the ice and the safety cross for the craft. Cross them, you need too much for the also full speed. This for the lightly thin spread. Breaking in the ice of the darkness overhead. But hate, but better for fate. Swallow seemed for the cleaving of the sport. Music has no heart to follow. Little music she stops short. She hath neither wish nor heart. Here's to know another part. Here's for the loving creatures she and brave. And finally strive for the struggling friend to save. Move for the brinking, or maybe the hands that you would say. And afflicting your moans as she fetch. Maybe she feck to break the ice with the hurt that she has no fear. Him alone she has no ears. Make efforts for the complaining nor giving. Until the fellow sinks into reappearing no more. Maybe wait. Ask a question simply. Maybe it was not rhetorical for the indignation of the enduring. We should not waste the lands and despoil the temple. Maybe it was the flame returned to dust which became such food for the appetite for the demanding. Maybe it could brook for the thought by the hands with the overpower the possession of the delight. Maybe the wilderness be all brave lie dead. Maybe with the bands of the weak for the breaking of the dares to speak for the benefits of the future with the day enlightened minds for the shell blessed this way. Maybe it strained hard for the fortitude to prove the weak. Maybe it was the groan for the blush of the pale cheeks and the declaring aid for the hour the power to inflict which is straight to bear. Maybe I was not a bear but not lying at all. Maybe I'm a lion inside the cave like I was an influence of a natural object. Maybe it was the wisdom and spirits of the universe and the universe and all the interning of thought for the giving form of image of breath and everlasting motion not in vain for the starlight. This is the first dawn for the divine intertwined before me for the passion build up for the human soul. I am not for the meaning of the universe, for the man for the high options and doing things with the nature purifying thus elements of the feeling of thought sanctifying by such discipline. Both hand and feel until we recognize the heart, the beating in the heart for the fellowship of the me. Feasting for the kindness of the November days to return to January night's lonely scene. More lonely than a tramedy lake beneath the gloomy hills. Homer apple for the solitude at the intercourse. Maybe it was mine by the waters of the all summer long for the winter. It was indeed for all of us in the rapture. It was the willing out for the not to care for the home for the shine for the steel for the confederate for the unimatic for the chase for the willing and the pleasures for the sounding of the horns. Maybe it was a chiming for the hunting bear for the principles that bring out for the leafless tree. Maybe it was the iron distant hills. Maybe the sparkling clear for the blessed nights and the image of the flying still before me. Gleamed upon the lasting flame for all the times we had given the lights of the wind and the shadow banks on either side of the case we went through the darkness and spent still. I don't know the rapid line for the motion dentist me. Things hung once and I found kindly back upon the hill still. Left with the inscription of the sea. Margin lines behind myself melancholy through the heroic dreams. The slight love, scorn for the jealous rage for the ingenious and so behind the stage. I don't think the queen of the island hollow shell alive for the purpose of the intellect that they can raise. Forth the every words and they can pine deny the decays. Maybe the hums were resounded for the enchanting of the what's right and not the seed that got to give birth to the word. Maybe it was that love, maybe it was those for the inscriptions and the sound forever blessed by the sea. Again, perhaps, maybe it was the earth, maybe it was what's on your feet. Maybe self-approved for the removing of ones, perhaps. Maybe the inscription for what we lack. I cannot be rude. For the mouth, for the monuments, for the inner, for the threshing of the ancestors. Peace of those divides, for the entire forgiveness, for the patience to becoming inmate. I disturb for the quiet rocks, the elements and the those of fragments in the round of the rose.
Two parallels will divide that metal.
Two parallels will divide that metal. Sorry, you cannot travel both. Look down as far as I could, but not the beginning of the undergrowth, and you can find it's just fair. Having perhaps did the better to claim it because it was wanted to wear. Though it was for the passing there, for the warm, for the really. Maybe about the same for the both mourning equally. Maybe you could lay back for the leaves and no step in the trot. And maybe I kept this for another day for the knowing each way let's go to be doubting. I should never come back with the telling with this aside. Somewhere at age and hence. And two roads to divide inside the wood, but I can take the one less traveled by the one that's made all the difference. You will be the scattered and beneath this poem. This is the underwriting of the rules, and the rules and the beat theories and now gone for the pair. It's so the plumb, and I suppose the dumb is dearly only knows. What would be next to prove, and as a role, you of course arose, but you were always one. I am not the sun, but I shine like You can understand that I may be a runaway for the sorrow, for the ones that snow over the year, for the beginning to fall, for the stop of the mountain to pasture. Who's the code for the one to 4 foot the wall, for the curling of the breast and deep inside the head, the snark, he had the boat. He had a miniature thunder for where he read. He thought he came for the little fellow for the raid, the snow, the little fellow but all for the running away for the weather, but not you could find to be alone. For here comes this clatter, one stone and red to white, the whale, the wind, the straight up and he could find a coat. Throw out the flies wherever he leads. When now to come so late for the creature he gone to stand the bend. Out to tell him for the king who the kinfolk. Take a man for there's nothing that he wrote for the late walk. This is the talking a secret that sits still. Dancing around for the sound for the shadow. You can move for the ringing I suppose. We have a secret or the silent tent. You can find from attentions and midway for the summer breeze, and you could dry the dew for the ropes, room relevant and wind the guys. Gently sway up at the ease and supporting the cedar. You had the signifying for the serene of the soul, for the seems to be not arguing. Singing the chord of the strictly held by none. Loosely bound for the counters and the silken times and love and thought for everything numbered earth encompass around. You for the only sound for the golden laddie and talk. You for the comprehension. No summer air for the slightest bonnets and maids they're wearing. This could be the camera can care not. Care for those for the soldier from you can want to be a martyr, hold a victim. You could be a veteran, just left and false. Let him fall in for the lands of the lies that have been hurled for the unlifted with the calling of the come rust. This is still lies pointing at a plow and making the dust. If we had to sink the sight for the world, for to see nothing but the world has been marked. It's been like the wind we men we look too near, forgetting all the fitted for the what's to be a spear. Missiles will make the shoe short for the arc and they fall off the sand for the ripping of the grass and they intersect the curse of the earth. Straight break their own for the making of cringing and metal and place on the stone for rust. Yes, we know obstacles checked on the trip for the body to shock the spirit and further for target. You show for the shown. Maybe it's gone and maybe it's not. Maybe it was the plot or the poem. Maybe it's the sound of the trees and I wonder about them. Maybe it was the sound for those, for the apprehension of those who we wish to bear forever, for the noise of these mother of noise and more for the other noise and the closing of the dwelling place and suffered by the day. This is where we lose all measures of pacing, the fixing of joys and the choir, the listening in the air for there we talk for the going and nowhere it gets talks, no less for the knowing if it grows wiser and old. That for the must be said to stay. Feet for the tugging of the floor for the heads to sway for the shoulders and sometimes I watch for the trees sway. This is from the window for the only door for the half of the shelf, the step forward for the anywhere the sun where I can make the reckless choice. Someday when the voice when the white clouds, maybe the tossing the scare, maybe I have less to say but I should be gone one day soon. Possibly, maybe on a blue moon, new moon. Maybe this will be coming, but you can find the stagnation, spanning life for the concentrating of the old dog barking inside of the background. Not this time. Maybe you were sleeping anonymous, in a position to find yourself not for the interlude or an inclusion. And inside the star-splitting night, you can find me like a Cyrus in the rising of the hand. Look at me with the busy outdoor like a lantern light. Something I should have been doing around for the ground for this frozen. I should done it for the war, for the wasting of the leaves, for the smoky china, for the chimney, to make it fun the way that I do things. I'm a man, not to ask, should I have the rights for these forces obliged to pay respect. This is the heavenly stars for the hunger for the mugger of farming. Maybe the burning house is down for the fire insurance. Maybe there's a pray. Find the proceeds for the telescope to satisfy how long I need space for the planning of the infinite. Or what do you want to do with these blamings and that I give? Or you gave upon maybe to those who were moving your rocks with the clouds for the fine, the changing of the hands and spent the years, and this is the not who could wait for those who have burned down their own house instead. Feel like the weary could be life, could be to overcome. Deep and slow because there ain't no worries but where the waters go, for where they downpour. For this not to be a lonely place, for here for the metaphor, for hearing the grace for the life God given, got me to understand that I am the God for the me, for the body, for the art, for the artist, the art law. Me now, but I am now and I see now, for I understand now, I see clearly, maybe with overseas. Guess it didn't happen till after I got older, and I forgot my dream. It was there then in front of me, bright like the sun for the dream. Then either for all arose, or the rose slowly fell between me and my dream, and I could find the touching of the sky for the wall, the shadow. I'm black, I lie down in the shadow for the no longer than light. Dream before me, above me, under the thick wall, under the shadows in my hands, my breaking through the wall for the finding of the dream, for to help me shatter this darkness. And I smashed this night to break this shadow into 1,000 lights of the sun, into 1,000 whirling reams and dreams and sun. You can find me in the middle of the storm. In that peaceful place where you can find the rhythm between the here and the unorthodox, and you could be the bad morning. Here I sit still with the shoes to shine. Maybe it's my face with the reflection of any mirror I can come across is frustrating. Maybe it was the way the life of the April rain sang nothing but the blues for the bound, holding of the rule for the law, for the road, for the way down, for the road, for the finding of somebody to help me carry this load, for the roads in front of me do not walk in the road, and I can find a good friend for the come along and talk to me. But maybe it was the one who was used and brutalized everything for the hate to be slowly been lonely for the here's this way to decide for every finding dreams or finding the seams to try to do you my bad. It's nothing but I'm sorry for I won't fail to not. These are the melancholy ways of finding your banquet in the darkness. It's all in your songs, you know. You feel the throw at the sun. You can find it before they melt, they like snow. Like a heart drifting between a song and hearing the place between melancholy. Maybe if I had a story I'd tell you, if I could remember the words, because it's like a bad dream. Clean the spit and the steam, the hotel. This is the boy for the nick of the dollars and everything that took the soul away, for the missing of the dimes and had the rent to pay. Bright boulevards for the beautiful, the Lord. Bright polish for the bright, like the symbols of the king dancers. You can find the rhythm here, and for the holy moon, for the I can wind the cups of coke, and you can never polish me off. Or maybe I do not accept that. If it was nothing less than genuine, something more sincere for the
died that night. It was nothing but the last struggle to the flesh, underwater, nothing, that last glance of the agonizing eye for the passing of the wind and bound the sky. Maybe it was down in that bass for the steady beat in the background, walking like Martian feet down the night and rolling inside of the soul. Riffs, sneer, fidelity, so that I can hear it. What you say like I rock in my bed, embedded with the truth that you can find it misled. Nothing to complain or know about, would be nice in any case. To your satisfaction, or it could be your road to hell walking down. I came up feeling swell as nothing what can ever be explained, for no matter the rain, it don't matter. Such a bore always being poor, for the fact that money means nothing to me, but I'm rich in the spirit, and if that means anything to you, I don't want to barter exchange for not the road for the feet of Jesus, and I could be sorrow like the sea. Yet I stand like Jesus and preach out and reach your hand, extend for. I never seen the promised land, never been promised, but I've been there. And it's the final curve and into that corner. I could see through my peripheral, like it was closer than you could expect for the round the corner. For you run into yourself and then you have turned. Now the corners that are left between you and the deciding. Whether the fire you caught and lost was not so gorgeous and she flew away, but it was nothing but the game for you. How the breaking the other day, not the heart. And then wings like dead, but the desired and fell, caught into the flame. No one to blame, self, Realization that everything is false. Reality, nothing but an illusion. Places, things, people, nouns, everything, verbs, the words that they use, mispronounced, misleading. But when a man starts nothing, for it starts with his hands, you could be cleaning, but the standing for the alone, from the outside of the world, for the great, for the wood, for the rich of the soil, for the blood, for the integrity, for the eyes to see the materialistic, remember the material for the building, to see the difficulties, the obstacles in the mind seeks, ways to overcome these. Maybe the soil, maybe the community hands to help, maybe becoming one man's for the dream alone, maybe for my alone, for the world, for the alone, for maybe your world, for mine, maybe belonging to the hands of who built, who time ago for the crossing, maybe the crossing the sea for the adventures of the moors, men for the slave masters and all in the world, maybe the belonging in the stars for the sailing of the bees, the seas and man a little band together for the region, you're for the slave for the freedom,
so many things can go wrong, your choice not to listen to a righteous song, your mother's feet and it is for so long, son, you can't always be wrong and strong, hold on, just want to uplift my people, so they could know, so the evil change, get just like a vehicle, forget where from bad-minded people, they will talk you and keep you, and this bitch you will not need you, clip still up to us, I don't believe you, may never see you pop up or ill,
crack wind through the pipes of the drove they pours, maybe the hands in the horror for the adventurous love, or maybe moving, running, ducking, dodging from life, expensive ways of strength, find that will for the building, you are not there. It only comes for the certain undeniable rights from those among the life of liberty for the pursuit of happiness, and maybe it's the cost of everybody else's consequences, and maybe not for the meaning of anyone. Better to die for the living of the free, and the slaves for the find of love. Maybe it was those for the keep it in the hand. Maybe it was those for the hand over my heart. Maybe it was those that begging to please don't do this again, for the stumbling and saying to them faulty and I can't understand the practices. So somewhere they were trying to say for you to be together, for you could build it yourself, and don't be discouraged and maybe to be weary. I am not weeping that maybe the society divided me for you, for the great words that you can only say without the actions erasing in my heart. This is not our race or ethnicity. This is the plowing in something like a shade. Maybe it was a light, but it was a lamppost. And maybe I posted like a maybe. Wait, the eagle landed. Who's the free, the wild, the tame, the who could be a monster, the frightening, the name, who could be the unknown, loving of, who's a genius child, who's the building and the developing of an alpha, who's the omega to find the truth in God and living for the common, the female, the male together, alone in my purity world without an end, beloved with the young lovers, and this is the speak round. I am not the God, but I come down for the spring of life is love, for the love of the life is only be the human and the man to God and not lonely, never this, for I should stand never alone. I am here with the peace and love that I own. The green, the love, the peace, the blue earth that silently find the temples in the shade, and we are not afraid for the ivory, the ebony of gods and the gods of the diamond, the jade for the only those with the silly puppets, and they can find the discipline under the ideologies that they have made. This is not a song. This is not even a poem. This is my arms reaching out. Maybe